morning.
Hello.
Yo, Shelly.
Hi.
This is DTM. What's the haps?
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm very well. You are the lucky lottery winner. I like your vibe, and I just wanted to... I can't even remember what exactly... I'm going to look at your file here and see... I got this email from you. Have you been trying to get a hold of me for a while, huh?
Yes. I
Oh.
gotta take this phone call out there, okay? I'll be right back. I'm sorry. Actually, you're gonna laugh. I'm in Kentucky.
What are you doing there?
I'll be right back. Briar Fest.
Is this a good time?
I really don't want to, say no and then never hear from you. You know what I mean?
Well, you're pretty smart because unfortunately, even though I would never want to do it that way to people, it's just there's so many people that I'm trying to help.
I know. And it's like, if it's my turn, it's my turn, you know?
Yeah, so I want to, if I mean, we could just get you on the road here in 5 or 10 minutes, you know, if that's all you've got.
Okay.
I see
All
that.
right,
Tell me what the main issue is. Is it the stomach?
Okay.
Heartburn, gas, and bloating? Oh,
yeah.
Shelly, I want you to know, by the way, you're on video.
Okay.
Okay, cool, because, you know, this is just one of those ones I think will help a lot of people. I want to address heartburn. I don't know if that's the main issue or not or what, but go ahead and tell me.
Yes. Well, I've had heartburn for quite some time, and the doctor had given me Zantac and omeprazole and all that. Then it just seemed like I stopped it actually because, you know, the medicine isn't really that good for you anyways, and I started drinking the Gold Life aloe vera juice that you get, you know, at the Whole Food stores. It's not fresh juice or anything like that. It's already cold pressed, whatever, you know. And it seemed to have helped a little bit, but it's just not really doing the trick. And I did take myself off of gluten and dairy. And, I mean, I don't eat anything that would be a heartburn trigger. There's no chocolate. There's no caffeine. There's nothing. I mean, I my main source of fluid is water, basically. I was juicing and doing smoothies and stuff, and it seemed like, I don't know, it's just a consistent thing. So it's like I don't know what could be triggering it. If it could be the frozen banana that I put in, the kale, the spinach, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, so how long have you been working your way off these other trigger foods?
It's probably been over a month now.
Okay, so what you've got some, well, we'll talk about this a little bit, but, you know, it takes more than a month. In other words,
I know that.
How old are you?
I just don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if what I'm doing is right or, you know what I mean, because I was feeling good, and then all of a sudden I did that. I told you that in the message. I did like a Swiss chard, a whole head of celery, and a lemon. And I got that actually from a recipe from Natalie Rose. It was like the 28 Raw Detox book, and it's like called like the Green Lemonade something. And I'll tell you, I was in the market and I had to leave. I thought I was going to throw up, and I had to get like these wheat gluten crackers just to soak it up. I was like, I don't even know what's happening, but my stomach, the whole burning through, it was horrible. And that's how that played out. And it's just like still suffering, it seems, from it. And that was like 3 weeks ago. I can't get control of it.
And ever since then, yeah, it could either be, that could be either some type of detoxification cleansing reaction, or, to be honest with you, I can drink like nails, but I cannot drink Swiss chard for the life of me without having major irritation in my throat and neck. I just don't like chard or beet tops. They have a lot of oxalic acids, and
yeah.
I have had issues with that. Like every time, I just never drink chard. It's too weird for me. I don't like it. So that's me personally. But can I ask you your age?
42.
Okay, so you're still very young. Do you get the heartburn at night when you lay down?
No, the funny thing is, no. It actually starts moving down into, like, it feels like my intestines. You know what I mean? It just, feels like I could wake up and the burn can be in like my lower stomach, you know, my lower abs.
So are you having a reflux? Is it coming up into the esophagus? Any kind of burning?
I'm not like vomiting or anything. Like, you know, some people tell me like they can throw up bile, or they can, you know, it feels like their stomach is throwing up in their throat. I don't feel that. It's just a consistent burn.
Okay, so it's and so you've spent most of your life on a standard diet?
Yeah, let me tell you, I used to run 3 to 5 miles all the time. It just, I don't know what happened. I kind of went through a little stressful situation for myself, and I don't know if I stirred things up on my own. And I'm just trying to get, you know, like, even though I did that damage for whatever, a month or a week, whatever, or 2 weeks, it's going to take a little more time to get me. Like you said, it's going to take more than a month. You know.
Did you say there was some stress?
Yeah, there was around Thanksgiving, Christmas time, into Christmas.
Yeah, and did you notice? So, how long have you been dealing with this? With the It's basically what you've got is some type of inflammatory condition.
Yeah, and not to be gross, you know what I mean? They did like a stool culture, and they did find out like in December that I had like a high white blood, like a blood count, which would be like an inflammation in the colon or whatever. And then that was that. And then they waited a couple of months and then tested me again, and that all cleared up. So then they tested me for like the parasites and the FOBT, you know, the little cards there. And so they did all like the stool samples and stuff, and that all came back good. So I don't know.
So do you have like a feeling of general health?
Yeah.
And so there's energy there. You're not like suffering. It's just a burning sensation.
Yeah.
And has it gotten?
And then it's just like it goes to your head. You know, you're just like, what am I doing wrong? You know what I mean? Like I'm doing everything right. Like, or so I think I am. Why am I? You know, I mean, I know you're not going to like hearing this, but it's like the protein, you know, I do eat chicken. I do eat turkey. I mean, because in my head, I don't know. I mean, I'm 100. I fluctuate between 108 and 110. Very tiny.
Yeah. And that's part of one of the issues.
I have to hear it all the time. What's wrong with you? Do you eat? Why don't you get some food? You know, and it's just like it's constant. And if I didn't, it just plays with your mind. You know what I mean? When people have comments like that, you know,
I remember.
You're like, look, I'm doing all I can.
That's the other issue.
I don't need to be an open book either to everybody, you know.
Well, no, but it's very helpful. I know that everybody really appreciates your honesty. We all are. This is the Honest Channel. We're doing real work here, and so we just want to address because there's several things you can go over, and that I remember that being one of your questions a while back was about the thinness. That's really tough, I know, but what that indicates is a absorption and utilization issue. So were you pretty heavy on the dairy during your life?
No, but I'll be honest with you. I was really heavy with wine. Honestly, I mean, I would just drink wine even when I was taking the omeprazole and the Zantac, and it didn't even bother me. Do you know what I mean? I had no problems until I went to the doctor because I felt like when I was working out, I felt like a little tiny burn near my belly button, and my girlfriend said, you know, this could be your appendix. You should go get it checked out. They did an ultrasound. She's like, oh my God, it's your pancreas. And then they put me just through the ringer, you know what I mean? And that's what I think stressed me out so much, is that I really thought that there was something wrong with me, and then they had to draw blood for my pancreas. That all came back negative, and they were like, oh, it's your gallbladder, and then that all came back negative, and then it was just like, you know, oh, it's this inflammation of your colon, and you know, it was just like, woo, I was on the roller coaster of my life, you know, and
yes, okay, so that's...
The more that they tried to throw stuff at me, the more freaked out I became, you know what I mean?
If you, I mean, that's the thing. 95% of my clients get worse. It's like all their worst symptoms start the minute they go to the doctor for something.
Exactly.
Because
and that's what I said. I kicked myself in the butt. I wish I never, ever, ever went. But I can't do anything about it. I did it. Whatever. I'm here, and I got to fix it. And I'm just lost in the midst of it.
It's a wonderful part of the journey because you learn, okay, those guys ain't got a clue. Because you cannot, what you've got is inflammation, utilization, absorption issues, which means you're clogged up. You have, and that's what I am. I'm Dan the Man, the declogger. And when we declog, health returns to the cells. If your cells are choking, and they're not able to absorb and utilize nutrition and energy and oxygen, you get a real serious issue because you cannot utilize oxygen and you get cellular starvation and death. And if you take cellular starvation and death and you feed it more toxic pills to suppress symptoms, you're clogging it down, pushing it down, and people get worse and worse. What I do is help people to get rid of the toxemia, open up cells, release the mucus that's clogging up the ability for the body to absorb and utilize nutrition. But you're thin, you may even need to get thinner in order to detoxify your GI tract so that you can begin to actually absorb, because in this GI tract you've got some kind of inflammation. It sounds like it could be all through. Meat is very acid forming. Dairy is very mucus forming. Eating while stressed is very bad for the digestion and leaves a lot of metabolic waste. Too many mixes of food, too many things mixed together creates indigestion, and it creates an inability for foods to be broken down and utilized properly, so you get rancidification and putrefaction in the GI tract. So the more simple that you eat, the better off you're going to be, and the more raw, fresh foods that you eat, the better off you're going to be, because they digest easily and don't leave behind all that residue, so that the little pink wall is nice and thin and clean and porous, and the sugars and the elements enter in through the stomach and through the small intestine and can be utilized properly. You can begin to eat less, digest better, release the inflammation in the GI tract. So everybody gets worse when they go to the doctor. You know, if you're dying and they need to sew your arm back on, that's cool. Or if your heart's blowing out of your chest, go in there and get them to stabilize your heart, and then get the hell out of there as fast as you can. Take the little prescription and just throw it in the garbage. You know what I mean? I mean, that's not very wise, truly. Sometimes they come in handy, but for the most part, they don't know how to heal you. They don't know how to get to the underlying issue because they never address food, which is the number one thing that humans are doing to kill themselves. Is the food they eat is the wrong kind of food and the wrong combinations. They eat at the wrong time and under stress and for the wrong reasons, emotional. And so it's a full life regeneration program to eliminate stress, to digest better. In your case, though, if I were you, that's what I'll tell you that I would do, Shelly, is I would, I would go as, I try to understand where people are. We've been so programmed with the meat. I live off meat, no meat. I don't need any of that. I would, if I had inflammation like you, I would go on a real simple fruit and green juice diet to release the inflammation. So if you ate like melons, that would be very soothing and cleansing to the GI tract, okay? Celery and coconut juice I would drink if I was you, to just soothe that fire that's all through. It's in the bowel wall. And if you mix up the wrong combinations, then you're going to have irritation and inflammation. But if you have those nice soothing foods like green juice, like I said, cucumber, celery, and coconut water would be just so perfect. You could drink like a 32-ounce jar of that and just put the fire out and soothe. At the same time, the celery juice will help to build, through the sodium, will help to build better stomach acid so that the heartburn can go away. The abdominal pain and the gas is from fermentation and putrefaction. I don't know what your food combining has been like, but you may need to take a look at it.
Well, that's what I try to do. If I'm going to eat a potato, it will just be a potato and salad. and then I ate like salad, and I tried to do a green smoothie, and then I would do like a salad and a chicken dinner. Do you know what I mean?
And
that was it.
That's pretty good program. I mean, really. I mean, it's like I'm not one of these dudes. It's like, you know, getting pissed at people for eating animal protein. I mean, it's not like that. I'm just saying, from where I stand, any type of acid forming right now, you know, we've gone this far away over on the acid side because the humans, they eat so much more percentage of acid forming foods than they do on the alkaline forming side, that if I spent the rest of my life telling people that just to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, then I would be bringing that balance back over here onto the alkaline side. Now, I eat predominantly alkaline forming foods, and I do very well. It really does help you to thrive. You don't have the stiffness and the pain and the burning. When I ate too many nuts and all that, a lot of spices and stuff, boy, I would have times where I'd wake up so stiff and clogged up and bogged down. And now that I'm on predominantly acid or alkaline forming foods, my health is way better. The flow of energy, I don't have like stomach problems or gas problems. I mean, I fart every once in a while, but I mean, it's not like I have any kind of issues. I have really, really good health, and all I eat is fresh fruits and vegetables. So that's what you're going to want to go towards, at least until you can get detoxified and get the inflammation out of the bowel wall, and learn how to only eat when you're feeling hungry, for one, so that the food is absorbed a lot better, and then also eat when you're calm, and eat the most simple foods that you can, like you know, sit down and have like just melons and see how that does. Usually melons are the easiest digestible food and the most soothing for anyone with GI tract inflammation, you know. Does that
so apples isn't a good choice, because that's what I've been like trying to do in the morning, is just like an apple, and then I'll just drink some water, and then I kind of just wait until lunch to do, you know, a big huge salad again. You know, it's like
apples are okay. They're not in season right now. Maybe some from Chile, so they're not as fresh. But apples are actually pretty good for releasing inflammation and helping to soothe the GI tract. Nowhere near as soothing as like mangoes, papayas, and melons. Those are really soothing and energizing at the same time. But it's really going to be food combining and making sure that the last meal is completely digested before you add anything else in there, so that there's no fermentation or putrefaction. You're going to have to consider some kind of detox. And I know that you're already getting a hard time from everyone, so that's what makes this so damn difficult, and that's why most people don't succeed, unfortunately. It's easy to lose weight because nobody bothers you, pretty much. But when you're a thin person, and you get thinner, because sometimes the thin, wiry type is already thin, so they don't see it in their mind. They don't know you're inside burning and suffering because you're not utilizing and absorbing. And just like an obese person is not utilizing and absorbing either. So you've got the same problem, but with this person over here, it manifests as overweight. With the thinner, nervous, wiry type, Vata, that manifests for them as excessive thinness. So those are the people that have a real challenging time, because when you're losing weight, everyone's going, hey, that's really great, man, you know, and you're doing the same thing. But the thin person... Go ahead. You understand what I mean? So you might need to get...
I totally get it, because, you know, that's what, you know, like, that's what I try to explain to other people, too, like that aren't overweight. I'm like, you don't understand, you know, when you start losing weight, they say the same thing to you, like, what's wrong with you? Are you dying? You know what I mean? What do you lose? You know, I said it's the same thing for thin people, too, you know, they have their comments, too. You can't win either way, so...
that's why I don't even bother, or I make fun of myself, to be honest with you. I just say, oh, I'm just eating my bird food, or, you know, I make up some kind of excuse. I make a joke about myself. Yeah, I'm trying to starve myself to death. I can't wait. You know, and they're like, you're weird, but it just shuts them up. If you laugh at yourself, hi, I'm Dan. I always call myself Toothpick Man, you know what I mean? It shuts everybody up, because if you can laugh at yourself, it shows you that you really know what's going on and they don't. You know, I know what I'm doing. I'm 125 pounds in the middle of a water fast. I know what I'm doing, and you don't. I'm Toothpick Bird Chest Man. and I'm about to turn into a stick figure. So what? You know, you just find some kind of way to just make fun of yourself, or you don't even argue with people. You just, it's like you try to avoid it, or you just agree with them, or there's always a way, but you have to become like a spiritual master. Like you have to understand that the world is woefully ignorant, and until they're dying, they're not going to find out the truth of this stuff either. Until they're sick of suffering, then they'll find the raw foods and turn into a toothpick, or lose the weight and turn into a bird seed and grass diet eater. Because really, the cleaner that you get, the less you need to eat. And the whole nutrition paradigm is literally killing everyone. I see hundreds of messages each day of why these socially correct nutritional paradigms are killing everyone. With the dairy, I saw a thing yesterday on heartburn, and I saw, here's the heartburn foods. You know what the heartburn foods were on this website for helping yourself with heartburn? Was the exact foods that make you have heartburn in the first place and cause your diseases. Milk and meat and grains. And I'm like, this is why everyone's so sick, because nobody knows anything about the proper foods that were meant for human consumption as a living organism, which is fruits and tender leafy green herbs should be the predominant part of any human being who wants to be radiantly healthy in this lifetime, because that's just how it's set up energetically through the process of nature's laws. And when you start cooking your food to death and eating dead animals, it's really going to do what it's going to do as far as a natural response to the laws of nature. So the best foods for human, and I'll have a lifetime to say this, is fresh fruits and green juices. And the more of those that you apply in simple combinations, the better off you're going to be. And for utilization purposes, right now, Shelly, you're going to want to think of juicing as much as you can, because you're going to absorb a lot more nutrition. I would avoid the chard and go for more like spinach.
What do you think of beet juice?
I think beet juice is great. Beet juice is a blood purifier and a liver cleanser and a blood builder. And then I would make sure I was getting plenty of oxygen through breath work and being outside and playing, and getting plenty of sunlight as well. And you want sunlight in the eyes in the morning. So there's so many things that people are not doing in the modern age, which is working against them. And if they do all those things, even I live in the middle of Oakland, I still go out, I get my sunlight, I do the breath work, I do some yoga, I get some fitness, I eat the raw foods, and my health is very, very good. But but being in the middle of the city, it's not that cool, because there's a lack of oxygen in the air from all the cars, and the oxygen is utilized to negate the effects of pollution. So there's a lot of things working against us. We have to absolutely be adamant at creating the most natural circumstances in our unnatural environment to improve our health. So you've got a real simple issue, and if you nip this in the bud, Shelly, right now through the Alkalize program, you're going to alkalize, and then you're going to release inflammation, and then you're going to utilize food better. And you're going to need, what I would do is...
Can I just,
yes, you
can.
can.
Tell you that when I was doing the fruit in the morning, I did it for like probably 2 weeks, and I have to tell you, I started cleaning out, and then I started like freaking myself out, going, oh my gosh, am I giving myself like IBS now? You know what I mean? And because that's what they said that I might have with the gas and the bloating. And then like my tongue was looking funny. It was like white coating, and it was like the insides of my cheek had white coating, and they're like, oh, you're just biting your cheeks at night. You know what I mean? Like you must be grinding down on them, because I thought I was like the candida, situation that I was feeding it with the fruit,
You were detoxing. And when I go in for a water fast or any type of juice fast or cleansing, the tongue is the indicator of what's going on. If you're always eating, it never has a chance to, you are peeling off the mucus. And as you peel that mucus off, it comes out and it comes right up on the tongue. And the tongue, after the third day of water fasting, is the indicator of what shape your GI tract is. And if you have a white-coated tongue, which everybody will pretty much, unless you've been a fruitarian raw vegan your whole life, then you're going to have a white-coated tongue. And you were detoxifying, and you were on the right road, and you were releasing waste matter, and you were eliminating mucus, And the biting the cheek thing, that just goes to show you they haven't got a clue. I mean, everybody that knows about water fasting and detox knows about the tongue, and the doctors don't know anything about it. So they're not going to be able to help you out, because unless you remove the obstructions and the mucus and the viruses and the bacteria and the heavy metals and the chemicals that are obstructing the function of the individual cells, you will never be able to return to a state of high cellular health, where those cells, the trillions of cells, are functioning properly, communicating with one another, and absorbing nutrition and excreting the waste matter. And the waste matter accumulates and you get sick because the cells start becoming damaged due to the buildup of acid waste products in the lymphatic system, interstitially, and extracellularly as well, intracellularly. And so what you've got is just...
Dan, can I ask you something else? Like, what about like undigested food in the stool? What is that about?
That's a lack of chewing, a lack of peaceful environment, and as well as a pancreatic issue. And if you ate a lot of grains and stuff, when people eat a lot of grains and starchy carbs, it really, really wears out the pancreas. And so you need to...
So is that what I'm doing? Because I do eat a lot of grains. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because when grains, the pancreas is just working.
No, not grains, not grains, greens.
Oh, you eat a lot of greens. Well, is this all recent? Is this all...
Actually, to tell you the truth, that was more in the beginning. It's actually getting much better now. I have to admit that. It was like really bad in the beginning. It kind of was weird. It was like the non, it was digested, and then it went through like a cycle of it not being digested, and now it's digesting again. So I know I'm doing something right.
Yeah, are you eating more fresh fruits and vegetables?
Yes, absolutely.
And I want, I can sit here and do these, real defined detox programs, but the general masses of my people, they all just simply need to start consuming more fresh fruits and vegetables. And I always say it, whole fruits are the best. This is the time of year to do it right now, to detox your body.
Absolutely.
It's the melons are the best. The grapes, the cherries are at the end. And cherries and melons are like the best for removing the junk. And then green juices keep you stabilized and alkalized and deodorized as you're peeling away layers of mucus, and you're eliminating heavy metals with like cilantro, and you're keeping your breath fresh as the layers peel away and the stinkiness starts to break loose. Drink some apple, lemon, and parsley. I would avoid the shards and the beet tops myself, and carrot tops with a lot of oxalic acids. And carrots are good, celery is good, beets are good. Very simple, very clean, energizing food. So your main thing would be to try to incorporate as much whole fresh fruit in simple combinations, 1 to 3 types of fruit at a time, and then as much of the leafy green herbal juices that taste good to you. And then at night, the salads. If you can eliminate the meat, then you're going to see a major jump. Meat is a stimulant, but you'll see a jump in your detoxification and the release of the acids. As you alkalize, you're breaking stuff up, because acidosis is like this. Alkalinity, and you'll watch the video later, Shelly, alkalinity is like this. It breaks up. It loosens things up. So anionic, acidosis, congestion. And that's the cheese, the bread, the eggs, the meat, the milk, the sugar, and all the other foods that are dead foods. As soon as you start bringing in the fruits and the green juice, you start loosening up the fluids. The fluids get loose and disperse.
Where does my protein come in from? Am I doing pumpkin seeds? Am I doing...
The reason
why... You gotta
why...
remember, I'm in New York, so like we don't get like really... Like you're in California, so you're getting like really good fruits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. New York is...
I bit into my carrot this morning, and I was like, what in the world is that? I mean, it was brown running through it. I spit it right out and went for my apple. You know what I mean? I was like, I ain't eating that.
Right. So in New York, I found it to be like some okay stuff, especially this time of year. But you do got to pick and choose. You can get some decent melons. just do what you can with what you got there in New York. And the thing about the protein, that's what's making everybody so sick. Too much protein.
Because that's what it's like. That I gotta hear from Joe Schmo. Don't forget your protein. You gotta do that.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Because everybody's so programmed. Because the people that sell protein. Protein is just, all it does is make everybody sick because your body isn't utilizing it. It's just clogging you up, and it's just fermenting and acidifying.
That was the new thing. I'm sorry, I forgot a nice little chunk of it when I told them that I took myself off the gluten, soy, and milk. And then they looked into my mouth because I was telling them about the funny feeling in my mouth and the back of my throat, and they said, "Oh, it's because you're B deficient." Now I don't know how you look in somebody's mouth and tell that they're B deficient. So
vitamin E deficient?
For me.
What kind of
deficient? Yeah.
You're not.
They didn't draw blood or anything. They just only went in by my mouth because, like I told you, I thought it was like candida because I was feeding myself so much fruit. You know what I mean? I didn't know if the sugar was having a yeast test in there. You know what I mean?
That's why it's nice to balance out. But the thing is all the viruses and the candida is thriving off of white sugar, and it's thriving off the mucus that's left over from dairy, and it's thriving off the mucus that's left over from starchy processed grain products, which leave a layer.
And that's going to get out of me, right? When I continue eating the way that I was for those 2 weeks, like I told you.
Yeah, 2 weeks is only a beginning. You got to stick with this thing, and you got to take the punches, and you got to keep yourself quiet.
But see, I thought I was doing something wrong. Do you know what I mean? When the white and everything started coming out on my mouth.
No,
and
you were doing
I really
something
thought I was
right.
doing something wrong with the fruit.
No, you were doing it right. You were doing it right, and you were getting the results you want. If you don't, someone very close to me right now is not well at all, and the reason is because, and that's why I'm going to continue to help people to have the courage to get through your issues, to get through your health issues, and try to do your best to understand that it's not going to always be pretty, and a lot of things are going to happen that you don't understand. But the one thing you need to understand is that watermelons, grapes, and green juice do not cause health problems. All your health problems are caused from the crap you ate before, and now the fruit is helping you to eliminate it, and you're going to have symptoms of different types of detoxification events, and you want these to happen. You want some fevers. You want to feel weak and take a nap as your body's releasing piles and piles of debris that have accumulated and are causing your health issues. So you have to continue to educate yourself on fasting, detox, juicing, and learn as much of this as you can. And once you've read all the books see all those books over there? I'm showing everyone on the camera. Those are all fasting.
I got the Miracle Detox by
Detox.
Robert Morris. I got that one.
That's a great book. I always have that on my desk. But see, these are my spiritual books up here. But all those are, and once you've read that many books, you go, oh, The Miracle of Fasting, Paul Bragg, The Pleasure Trap, the 80-10-10, Fasting and Eating for Health, The Science and Fine Art of Fasting, Fasting Can Save Your Life. These are just, Fasting for Renewal of Life. Those are just a few of the books those are my favorites that I read over and over again. But once you've read 10 or 20 books on fasting and detox, you're going to get it. It's like all those guys have a different trip, but you get the basics of it, is that you're going to lay around at times and feel like crap. Then you're going to have other days where you feel great. But as long as you continue the process of flushing, cleansing, healing, and nourishing and energizing the cells, you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have emotional releases, mental releases, physical releases, stomach aches, blood's going to come out, mucus is going to come out, headaches, get colonics. But just keep cleansing and strengthening the cells in the GI tract and feeding the cells. Ask yourself, does this food feed, energize, cleanse, and nourish my cells? Or does it stimulate, overstimulate, clog up, and degenerate and acidify the cells? Every time you eat, is this nourishing and energizing the cells, or is this creating acid damage stimulation? Stimulation equals enervation. Most humans stimulate, and then bam, doctor, what's going on? I'm 37 years old. Why is this happening to me? Because you stimulate, acidify, and then the process of degeneration begins, and then the pain, and then you go to the doctor, and then it gets worse because they just give you pills to suppress symptoms. So what it is I'm teaching people to nourish and energize, and this is a very unique understanding. My teachers are masters, and they taught me, and now I'm slowly but surely getting this and what's really happening here at the levels of not only the physical body but also the spiritual release. And you don't want to spend your life in pain, and you don't want to go down the road that your parents did with the degenerated genetics. We need to turn this thing around and regenerate our lives. That's why I do what I do.
Absolutely.
So are you...
when you go in and like when you read all the herbs and all that, it gets a bit overwhelming. Like when you go into the whole food store and you're just like, holy, I mean, there's just so much. There's the chlorophyll, there's the blue-green algae, there's the sea vegetables. Because you need iodine. It's just like it's so much.
Yeah, but it's really, in the end, you get simple. Like I could live off of watermelon today, and then some romaine lettuce with tomatoes on it tonight, and wake up and I go exercise, and so it's not that hard. And then if I do want to
tomatoes, though, I can't eat tomatoes. That's off my list.
Have you tried raw tomatoes? Have you tried raw tomatoes? I'm telling you, let me tell you something. There is a world of difference between the acid bombs that are cooked tomatoes and the little alkalizers that are raw tomatoes. It's a whole different world. Fried foods are out, caffeine is out, alcohol is out, nicotine is out, cooked tomatoes are out.
I haven't done the alcohol since that day, December 8th.
You're on the road. You really are on the road, and you're doing a great thing because, you just got to turn this thing around. Otherwise, it's going to be continual degeneration of the human race, and I'm just not going for it. So I would say regenerate and get excited about getting healthy and use fruits and vegetables and relaxation and create space in your life and bring awareness to your eating habits and bring awareness. When you bring awareness to eating, you bring awareness to all the other aspects of your life. So y'all better be ready to wake up when you do this, and you better have courage. And other people are not going to understand, but this is you and your spiritual awakening between you and God. And if nobody else around you wants to wake up...
And I believe that. I really do.
Oh, you got to trust me. I have been having the most profound revelations. If you go down this raw food road, be ready to wake up and open up and detoxify and regenerate, and it will just pour into you, and you will have such a desire to connect with something very, very big and very, very powerful, and it just gets into your heart, and you will eat whatever it takes. You'll meditate all day. You'll serve people, and you just want to be like having that flow of divinity, and you want to eat cleaner and cleaner, and it's quite a journey, my friends. I encourage everyone that is interested in anything I'm saying here at all to go for it and to just go all the way as far as you can in this lifetime with your health, the unconditional love in your heart, and the mental regeneration, which is what I'm working on right now, really getting my mind to be tapped in and constantly stay in a state of conscious contact with the creative force, or God is what I call it. And it's really, really cool. And that's what it ends up being in the end. It may be a bit much for some, but it's all one divine flow. So health is the awesome precursor to the spiritual inflow. So get excited. You dig? Do you think you're going to be able to swing this thing or what?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
definitely.
I just have a question. Can I eat bok choy and collard green raw?
I
eat them raw.
I usually juice them. Collard greens, again, and the kale are they're really proteinous, and they do have some, they're not the easiest to digest. When you juice the collard greens and the kale in small amounts mixed with celery and cucumber and whatnot, lemon, then you do get some really nice mineral salts with those. But they are challenging for humans. Herbivores have 4 stomachs. Humans only have 1, so you have to chew those foods really, really, really well, or it's better for me, like I pretty much juice kale and collard greens, The bok choy
Okay.
is much more tender. I find the bok choy to be much more digestible than the kale and the collards. But I also, again, I love me some bok choy juice with cucumber, celery, bok choy, dill, and lemon, and cilantro. And so the bok choy will make a great soother. It's got some nice mucilaginous properties that help to soothe the GI tract.
Okay.
So that's another good one. Green juices and fruits are your, and from what I've learned so far to simplify this, that's what I like to share. There's details all the way up and down the block, which I never have time to get into, but just the basic general healing program is fruits and leafy green juices, and that's the slow, stable, steady, continue on with your life, and slowly but surely. And if you need to put the brakes on a little, you bring in some steamed veggies, and then you hit the fruit and green juice program again, and you use salads to sort of, when you go out with your friends, you just order a salad,
Yeah.
or you hang out with
Yeah.
your people at night, you make a nice low-fat salad that's easily digestible. Smoothies are also very beneficial. So that's the
Okay.
DTM, style.
Okay.
I think you're going to
So
do real
much. I
well.
love you.
This was a great time spending with you this morning. I'm sure we helped a lot of people today.
Thank you so much for calling me and spending time with me, honestly. Thank you for choosing me.
Well, your persistence pays off, and I really appreciate that and your patience. So go out there and kick some butt, Shelly. You're going to do awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Well,
if you ever really want to check in with me, that's cool too. I mean, to give me some more support or any type of, the more support, the better.
so why don't you, just check out any videos, titles that interest you, and also,
Absolutely, all the time.
okay, cool. And then send me an email in about a month, and I want to hear about how well you're
Okay.
progressing, because I know that you're going to be doing much better from here on out after this cool little talk.
Yes, I am.
Okay, right on, Shelly. Peace be with you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you, my friend. Again, I always try to keep them short, but there was some good information on there. I hope that it helped you a lot. It's kind of the same thing over and over again, sometimes a little bit different twist. I love to talk to people. We get another context there, another person. People are suffering and they're dying, and because they don't have the courage to deal with the fears. And being drugged up for the rest of your life until you leave this place isn't something that resonates with me too well. So I'm going to continue to help as many people as I can to go through this challenging process of what I considered at this time a spiritual path, the awakening of evolution, the release of obstructions on every level, from the gross to the most subtle of all, to the divine, getting that divine flow of love. I realize when I talk about these kind of things, it's not like I'm ever going to have a real career. You know what I'm saying? They're just not going to have me on any of these talk shows with this dude talking like this, and it scares me. But you know what? I'd rather help a couple. I have to choose that as wisdom. I would rather help you in one or two, a few people, and never be one of these dudes who gets on there, hey, yeah, eat a lot of meat and make sure you get plenty of protein, and then take this little weird thing that never works and try this weird thing. And those are the people that are getting on talk shows and helping. Those are our health experts that haven't got a freaking clue about what true detoxification and regeneration is, and that's why they never get there. And all the little products and stuff like that, the super products and all that stuff is great, and they're again stimulating, but we are nourishers, and it's humility. I'm telling you right now, the biggest thing for me is humility. If I could get a little bit of humility, I could release and let go. I've got this big puffy fat ego that won't let me ever let go, and that's cool, but at least I saw that yesterday, and more in a real profound way. And as soon as I begin to really cultivate more humility and letting go and having faith in this process, I think I'll be able to continue to evolve and set hopefully a good example, but also just enhance my experience here on Earth and take health to the next level, and particularly working right now at the level of having a more clearer mind. And I would really love to see the stars of light surrounding this cranium. And I'll do whatever it takes And I might not even get it in this lifetime, but I'll come back in the next one and nail it. You know what I mean? By accumulating good karma, helping as many people as I can to understand that, hey, at least check it out. Like, so let's say many of you never get really well, but many of you are going to improve. Why? Because fruits and vegetables do not hurt you. Fruits and green juices do not hurt anyone. Too much chicken, too much fried chicken, too many cooked tomatoes, too much caffeine, too much alcohol, too much nicotine, too many processed grains, too much soda pop, too much cocaine, too much marijuana. Yeah, that stuff will get you. You can argue with me about the weed thing all you want, but trust me, I'm an expert, you know what I mean? I couldn't do dilly squat. I never got anything done. I was just too pie-eyed, too stoned, you know, to ever get anything done. But you never see fruits and vegetables hurt anyone. And they've only, every single time that people have eaten more fruits and vegetables, they've had improvements. They may not understand it as the tongue coating, oh my God, I'm doing something wrong. No. When you see the coating on the tongue, you're doing something right, because you're peeling away the layers and you're getting it out of there. And hopefully you're peeing it out through your urine. So getting your kidneys moving with the watermelons and cucumbers. Okay? So this is just my service to you. You know, I do my best. There's 18 billion people that need my help, and I'm only able to help a little bit at a time. A couple of videos a day, a couple of phone calls, and I answer as many emails as I can. But Shelly here was very persistent over the last few months, and finally, today was her day. I do care about people, but I'm more than that. I think I'm just excited about all the great things that have happened in my life from implementing this program, which is just cleaner and cleaner and cleaner eating. And you don't need a lot of protein. You know, I mean, I don't need any protein. You know what I'm saying? I don't need any protein. Now, look, most of the big buff dudes are going to be like, you know, but, you know, look at, it's like, I'm strong, I'm fit, you know, and I don't eat any protein. You know what I mean? I only eat like watermelons and cherries and peaches, and I drink green juices and eat salads and corn and fruits and vegetables. That's all I eat. And I know I'm not the buffest dude in the world, but I'm very strong, you know. I'm very strong and I'm very healthy. And the most important thing, my friends, is that feeling of peace that comes over you as these stiffness and pain and inflammation and clogged up. As your body gets declogged, you can feel the energy of life flowing through you. You wake up in the morning at 6 in the morning and you're just ready to go. Whereas before, when it was too many nuts or too much cooked food or too much protein, it was just, you're just, oh my God, dude, you do not want to get up in the morning. And you're just like, you need coffee and sugar and stimulants, and you still can't get it together. But as soon as you start getting more oxygen in there and you're getting cleaner and cleaner and flushed out, you're like, yeah, dude, what's up? Clean, healthy, vibrating cells, you know? And your energy picks up, and you're like a 38-year-old dude, and you feel like a kid, man. You know, you want to go outside and play, but you're sitting here all day helping people. I'm only going to work 4 hours a day, though. I have to, because if I don't, then I get too bogged down 2 weeks. So 4 hours a day is all I'm going to work. I think humans work way too much. I think they're stressed out. And I think it's causing health problems. And I'm not doing that to myself. Hell no. I'm going to live a good life and set a good example for you. You dig? Life Regenerator, one of a kind, baby. Love you to death. Love you to life. Amen. Can you dig it? I got to remember that. Love you to life. No more of that other stuff. We don't even need that, because it's all about life, 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 life. And it is a precious gift, and you don't want it to go away. So play with your kids and pay attention for an announcement coming up real soon about a birthday party for my daughter where I'm going to invite everybody. So I'll probably do that like tomorrow. So if you're in the Bay Area and you're watching this video right now, keep your eyes peeled the next couple of days. I'm going to invite everyone to a party. It's on me. I'll make the carrot cake. I'll bring the fruit. And everyone can come out, and they can bring Katya a present and come visit Natea. And I will go now, because these videos are getting longer and longer all the time. Yeah, baby. Out. Oh, subscribe, of course. Sign up for the Insiders Club. Cool video coming over there. Juice recipe real soon for fresh breath. And then if this wasn't too crazy, put it on your Facebook wall or send it to a friend that might have inflammation issues in the GI tract. Soothe, heal, cleanse, and regenerate your body, okay? It's a very important vehicle for you to have the most high spiritual experiences here while you are on the rock spinning through space. We call it Spaceship Earth. Okay, y'all. Peace.